Historically, it was the first MFA program, and since then has grown. So it's a rather large program which allows it a lot of diversity. If we begin with the idea that the studio practices are disciplinary, I think that it really attracts students on the one hand to be able to focus and really deeply go into their disciplinary area. Their interdisciplinary aspect comes from their seminar areas where these are thematically oriented, and students then mix in terms of various disciplines coming together.
I've loved all my classes here at Concordia. Each one was very challenging in different ways, so there's a lot of freedom to go out of our discipline and ask professors from other areas to come in for studio visits, for talks, to review the work. To this community of professors, there are all the visiting artists. We're very lucky as MFA students because some of them will come to do studio visits with us and talk about the work and discuss the ideas. So it's really very dynamic.
At the master's level, the fibers program is really posited on a series of questions: what is fibers? What can it be? And what we really look for is students who try to answer that question or pose new questions in really provocative and interesting ways. So some of our graduate students work very traditionally with fibers. They kind of have deliberately tried to reclaim handcraft processes. We have other students who work very much in terms of community activist practice. Others who work in site-specific, some who work with electronic textiles. I think we have a very strong sense of community, and that extends into the fibers community and the larger art community in Montreal, and also, I think, a national and international sense of community.
We think it's important for graduate students to situate their work in a larger social, cultural, and political context. Sculpture is not divorced from the world, it is very much a part of the world. We're actually witnessing an important commentary of its time and in its time. Art plays a very, very strong role in the way that culture is shaped, and then of course identity as a consequence of that. The point of the program is to orient and guide students towards professional autonomy.
This is one of a series of 3 work that combines sort of classical acoustic instruments with kind of antithetical objects and activities. This one in particular relates a piece of boxing equipment with sort of a piano-like instrument. The idea is just to bring together different notions of class and culture.
I use myself in my work, I use my life, I use things that are close to me. And I think just in terms of communication with them, when they see what I do, it immediately refers them to something that they know also, in which they can project themselves. I think that's a good way to enter, a conversation with students. The thesis exhibitions, they present their shows in artist-run centers and galleries on a professional level. There's this interest from the whole city and from the whole community. And I think a lot of them also become great artists.
I think that the MFA Painting and Drawing program has a beautiful combination of allowing students to really develop their relationship with a specific medium, but in a very diverse and open way. There really is a great opportunity for the students to achieve excellence.
The most important thing for me has been time to paint. Having 3 years just to focus on my practice and be in such an intense creative space that's been the best thing. This, what I'm standing in, is my thesis exhibition for my graduate degree at Optica, and that's my first solo show. It's my last bit of school, but it's a really great first step into the real world.
We have such an emphasis on combining traditional processes and negotiating the new technologies. Artists who work with print are very excited about all of the possibilities of digital imaging in combination with the traditional processes. We're very open to a student going wherever their imagery and their concepts take them.
This is a very interesting time in cinema. It's a time of shifts, it's a time of changes. As a university and as a fine arts faculty, we should certainly be asking the question, what is cinema today? What was it in the past? And what will it become in the future? So this is very important that artists weigh in and have a say in where cinema's going. We are open to expanded forms and experimental forms within all genres, meaning approaches to fiction, approaches to documentary, and to formalist experimental work. We're very interested in authorship. We're very interested in point of view, and it's all about developing what is called a voice.
Emphasis put on a community. That is one of the qualities at Concordia, is that opportunity for that community to come together and for those ties and those relationships to forge themselves with the students and with professors that have longevity to them, that have a future to them, and create that identity of what it was to be a grad student at Concordia throughout your life as a professional artist.